All right, let's dive right in. We're tackling a huge question today. Is AI actually about to double our productivity? It sounds crazy, but some brand new research says it just might be possible. So let's break it down. So, look, chances are you're using AI tools, right? ChatGPT, Claude, you name it. And it feels like we're faster, like we're getting more done. But is that just a feeling? I mean, how can you really know if it's making a difference? How do you even measure that? That's the big puzzle here. And, you know, it's a real puzzle. It's a tough nut to crack. Because measuring knowledge work, well, it's not like counting cars coming off an assembly line. It's just not that simple. Right. I mean, think about it like this. A software developer could use AI to knock out 10 tasks. Sounds great, right? But what if 9 of those were just, tiny little documentation tweaks, and only one was a massive critical change to the whole system? Just saying 10 tasks is totally meaningless. It doesn't tell you anything about the actual value. We've got to find a better way to measure this stuff. And that's where this new research from the folks at Anthropic comes into play. They've come up with a really clever new way to get a handle on this. So instead of some stuffy lab experiment, they went straight to where the action is. They figured out a way to look at 100,000 real, anonymous conversations that people were having with the AI assistant Claude. This lets them see what people are actually using it for in the wild. And their method is, well, it's pretty brilliant. Here's how it works. Step 1, they look at the conversation. Step 2, they ask the AI itself, hey, how long would this have taken a pro to do without you? Then step 3, they figure out how long it actually took with the AI's help, and boom, the difference between those two numbers, that's your time saved. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Can we really trust an AI to guess how long a human takes to do something? It's a totally fair question, and it's probably the first thing that popped into your head. The researchers thought of that too, so they put it to the test. And the results are pretty wild. So they looked at human developers guessing how long their own tasks would take. Their guesses had about a 0.5 correlation with the actual time. Now, the AI, with way less information to go on, had a 0.44 correlation. That is incredibly close. It basically means the AI's guesses are almost as good as the experts' own estimates. So yeah, it's a solid method. All right, so the method is legit. What did they actually find? Let's get to the good stuff. Okay, get ready for this. The first big number is 80%. That's the average time saved on a task using AI. That's not a small bump. That is a massive, massive jump in efficiency. And we're not talking about asking it to write a simple email. The average task they looked at was something that would take a professional about 90 minutes to do by themselves. So people aren't just messing around. They're using AI for real, chunky, complex work. This table really drives the point home. Just look at the top. You've got management tasks, legal tasks, stuff that would normally take a couple of hours and cost a pretty penny. And then you compare that to the simpler stuff at the bottom. It's crystal clear. AI is being used for the hard stuff, the high-value knowledge work. So, okay, on a task-by-task basis, the impact is huge. But what does that mean for the big picture? What happens when you scale this up to the whole economy? This is the headline number right here. The researchers crunched the numbers, and they figured this could lead to a 1.8% annual increase in U.S. labor productivity. Now, I know, 1.8% might not sound like a lot, but trust me, in the world of economics, that number is an earthquake. And here's why. To put that in perspective, the entire U.S. productivity growth rate recently has been, wait for it, about 1.8%. So what this study is saying is that AI, just the stuff we have right now, could literally double our recent rate of growth. That is a game changer. So where is all this growth coming from? Well, it's not spread out evenly. Software developers are way out in front, making up almost 20% of the whole pie. After them, you've got managers, marketers, customer service. You see the pattern, right? It's all knowledge work. But here's the thing. Just making old stuff faster, that's only half the story. The real revolution happens when a technology doesn't just speed you up, but it actually changes the work itself. And that brings us to a really interesting idea. It's this idea of bottleneck tasks. Think of them as the parts of your job that AI just can't do, the human stuff. And as AI makes everything else go faster and faster, those bottleneck tasks, they become the thing that holds everything up. They start to take up more and more of your time. A teacher is the perfect example. AI can be incredible for planning lessons, right? Creating activities, developing curriculum super fast. But can an AI run the after-school debate club? Can it manage a classroom full of kids? No way. So as the planning part of the job shrinks, those human-to-human bottleneck tasks become the main part of the job. It really suggests that the most valuable skills going forward are going to be the ones AI can't touch. Creativity, empathy, dealing with people. And that really gets to the core of what a true technological revolution is. The report puts it perfectly. The big breakthroughs, like electricity or the internet, they weren't just about doing the old stuff a bit faster. They were about completely changing how we work, and even what we work on. So that's the big question we're left with. Is AI just a turbo boost for the jobs we already have? Or is it something more? Something that's going to force us to completely rethink what a job is? The answer to that is going to define the future of work for every single one of us.